Let's get ready for Nomad. It was chosen by our Ulaanbaatar chapter in Mongolia. That's pretty awesome. And illustrated by Oyuna Bold. So whether you're tracking up frequent flyer miles or navigating a change in your creative career, remember that motion fuels your imagination. So wander and wonder. We are so thankful that Kamica King is here to share with us her personal and professional journey. She is a Texas-based singer-songwriter, a multidisciplinary artist, and a board-certified music therapist who blends her Afro-Caribbean heritage, soulful sound, and passion, healing into transformative performances and programs featured worldwide. So y'all, please welcome Kamica King.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get this set up how I need. No problem, do what you need to do, I'll do what I need to do. So I had to step into the restroom for a moment. I promise y'all this is a better session because I got to do that. So thank you for your patience. All right, how we doing this morning? Yeah.
I'll give you a 5.
All right, what do I have, 15, 20, or?
Right now, yeah, you got 20.
I got 20, okay, I like to hear that. All righty, let me go ahead and get started. So this theme is Nomad, and it really stumped me because it's like nomads and the hunter-gatherers, and they start where they are, and then they go to where they're going, and well, I have lived in a couple different places, so maybe I've nomaded it because I'm from Connecticut, but currently I live in Dallas. I spent a little bit of time in California, but still, I just kind of waffled through, like, where's really the anchor of Nomad? Because it's a lot about movement, moving to where the resources are, and then things started to illuminate a little bit more for me because of that. And from there, I also thought about this concept of rest. So rest doesn't seem like you'll be nomading. How do you nomad it to rest? But that's where I am now. And what happened to me was, as I landed on a couple different things, and it just didn't quite feel right, and I wanted to bring something that was right for y'all. So I was inspired last night in some journaling I was doing to write some things that, if it's all right with y'all, can I share it with y'all today? All right. So here we are on the theme of Nomad. Nomad is moving into the unknown, and for me, into rest. So what does one do when you're supposed to move, but it's towards rest? Now, I've built in pockets of rest, but haven't necessarily felt rested. So from there, I've learned that there's a difference between rest and restoration. Asking myself, what are the practices that feel restorative? For me, that can be breaking my guitar out that you see right over there, just kind of noodling along and seeing what comes out in terms of song, and especially when it's not for working purposes. The other times that I realize I'm able to grasp for this feeling is spending time in community. You know, the kind that feels good to your nervous system, where you're having fun, you're at ease, you feel comforted. And that is something that, quite truthfully, I find hard to access in this day and age of competing schedules. People are working, families, so many things going on where you got to pencil your time in with your friends, and you're like, what about in 2 weeks? Well, now I'm traveling in 2 weeks. What about in 4 weeks? Okay, and now it's just like, back in the day, you went outside and knocked on your friend's door. When you were in the college dorm, you went and knocked on your friend's door. I come from the we had cell phones in my time, but, pre-cell phone, where you were still out connecting with people. I think I miss the days when, like an old cell phone plan, after school and homework and chores, we were free on nights and weekends. It wasn't a matter of if you were free, it was a matter of when. But somehow that freedom changed, shackled by the reality of bills, student loans, and other obligations. And when building a business means going from 9 to 5 to 9 to 9, plus nights and weekends. You've traded in your time for progress as part of the process, but you didn't even realize when you tightened up your belt and trimmed away the unnecessary that you canceled roaming. Going from you are now free to move about the cabin to cabin fever to an actual fever, because that 9 to 9 plus nights and weekends is no longer sustainable. And you're wondering when that American dream is actually attainable for someone who looks like you, or you, or you. You know that there's gotta be other ways, but you haven't quite found it yet. So you work to find it and overwork to get it, because the bar of entry moves depending on who is in front of it. And not in any equitable way where someone whose boots with the straps, were taken away gets them back. And not in an equal way where even if the boots are returned, you kept the bar in the same place for all looking to enter the race into the promised land of milk and honey, otherwise known as freedom of time and resource. But anyway, enough about that for now. You might have known that I'm a musician, but did you also know that I am a magician? Well, I didn't know either until I learned that one magic trick where I pour from an empty cup and I can do it over and over and over again. And my nectar is sweet. It's a fulfilling feat. For everyone else, a treat. But for me, it would deplete. Now, what I'm saying might seem like odds and ends and extremes. But when life is lifing and you are bursting at the seams and you need a break so you don't break down, I want you to remember there's a difference between rest and restoration. One is rejuvenating and restorative. The other is simply a pause, a freeze frame where nothing changes. So are you just pausing your progression on the train tracks of doom? Or are you opting to get on a new ride altogether? One where you can get up under the hood and give it a tune-up. And if you don't have the right tools, you can phone a friend or take it to a professional. And as for me, the rest is still unwritten. I said the rest is still unwritten. Because I'm still working. Working to free up my nights and weekends and days, to free up my mind from the rat race into brighter days and softer ways. Manifestations of community where this giver is given to with the same love and care that I give so freely, to move from depletion to completion, to move from whole to whole. So will you help me if you have what I need? And does that offer still stand if what I have you can't receive? Will you trust and believe that someone else will meet your need so our circle of life has a way to proceed beyond transaction, fueled by divine interaction, seeing our way forward as together, but requiring different action from this current faction? To coalesce, to provide, to build up, to supply, to traverse, to seek, to connect, to speak, to share and not hoard, to be resourced and resource with open arms and open hearts, unafraid to give love and more love, to fill cups, to have cups filled, to center joy and togetherness over division, to start with you and the small acts that you do. Remember the ripple effect and answer me this. What kind of wave do you want to send out? What kind of wave do you send out? The choice is yours. The way is forward while remembering the things of the past to inform our present, to shape our future, and to move our bodies, move our minds towards more righteous action. And the word righteous has right and us in it. So what's right for us? We, the people. One people. So what does this movement look like? It looks like community building. It looks like rest and restoration. And those things as action. But the rest is still unwritten. And it is up to our collective action. Thank you.
All right, so there's a little pause right here.
Here's the other one. Wait, do you have it?
All righty, yeah. But those are words that are more so, check. Oh, maybe, okay, all righty.
Let's go with whatever is the safest one. All right. So those are words, but it's really food for thought. When Nomad means movement towards resource, and in this current time in my life where the thoughts are around, yeah, I may have built in time to rest, but I'm still in that same position. So how do I move towards restoration? And I truly believe that that way forward is in community. So after this song, and with whatever time I have left at that point in time, I'm not a person to just speak at people, but to have conversation. So whatever time remaining is for us to see and think about what has resonated. Where are you? How are you? But before that point, here's a song I wrote called More Love. So one of the things you may not know that I did in that piece that I wrote was put some of my music song titles in there. More love and one people. And do we have any folks that are singers in this room? Okay, I see a couple hands. And even if you're not a singer, because that was literally just one hand, but I believe in all of you, I'm going to invite you to sing along to a very simple part where we just say we want more love. And it goes like this. More love, more love, more love. More love, more love, more love. More love, more love, more love. See, really simple and the same. Then more love. Let me hear you join me with that. Let me hear you say, more love, more love, more love. Sounding good, a little stronger. Come on. More love, more love. early, but you got it. Yeah. More love, more love, more love. More love. What happened to our culture of love? Connection to the earth and the stars up above. They've erased our history. Desecrate the land in the name of technology. When we lack vision, we cannot see. When we can't see, then we don't believe. Human suffering and atrocities hurts the soul of humanity. What we need is more love, more love, more love. Can we come together for more love, more love, more love? Can we unify? More love, more love, more love. More love. We tended the land for vital aid. Before forced labor meant for capital gain. They made it illegal to feed our people and said it was all in Jesus' name. How can we break the chains? How can we break those bonds? Raise our consciousness, start a brand new song. Help me harmonize. Let's elevate for more love in the world today. What we want is more love, more love, more love. Can we come together for more love, more love, more love? Can we unify for more love, more love, more love? Hey, more love. Let me hear you say it. More love, more love, more love. Can we come together for more love, more love, more love? Can we unify for more love, more love, more love? Hey, more love. Two more times with me, say more love. For the big finish now, more Thank y'all so much. And that's just a little snippet of the song. Y'all gotta come to a show to get the full thing, okay?
All right, so how we doing on time here?
We're good. So we can do 5 minutes.
5
So
minutes.
that's probably like 2 or 3 questions.
All right. But before questions, I want reflections. So 2 or 3 reflections. We're gonna flex the time. I'm gonna make it all right though. All right, who's got some reflections on what you heard? All right, I see the hand in the back.
Hey, Kevin. Serious, felt everything you were saying, and I would say you are a magician because your delivery of words had me entranced. Some of those words said and listening was so hard.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Who else? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sandra. One thing first of all, your voice is so soulful. It's very sexy. I was like, oh, I did this.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here for it. Thank you.
You gotta sing with me. I think one thing I've been thinking about a lot as I've been recovering from a nerve injury in my arms is how life feels like I'm winning and losing constantly, but there's no prize at the end. And sometimes lying down actually allows life to roll over you and avoid the collateral damage at some points. And I'm just trying to constantly work towards when do I get up and when do I lie down and discerning that. So I think the fact that I do have rest as an intention towards a journey and thinking of that as a resource was a perspective I've never thought about. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for sharing as well. Yeah.
And Frank, I really appreciate your distinction like rest and restoration. Like I realized when you were saying that rest can sometimes just merely be resistance, like slowing it down so that you can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But restoration is truly moving towards something different. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And yes, we can clap it up. Let's clap it up. And that difference of rest and restoration were some like hard fought things like, okay, I thought I've slowed down, but then I like trip on the stairs and crack my toe. I'm in a boot. I got to wheelie around. And it's like, well, I thought I had already slowed down, but this feels like a universe sign for slowing down even further to where like I'm literally throttled down. And just that process of healing, like literally my toe healing was so much sleep and so much rest that I just had to give into, but then I did enough like little Reddit research that's like, okay, you need rest to heal and extra rest, and figuring out what does restoration look like, but what does restoration look like when it doesn't take my toe being cracked to try to look for how can I be restored and how can I be rejuvenated. Yeah. Others, yeah.
So I had a couple of thoughts while you were saying your piece earlier. I love the idea of rest being the mindset behind it, because I have a lot of times where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and relax, but my brain will not switch off. And so that idea of intentionally making your brain slow down, whether it's through whatever it is, music or journaling, I love the idea of intentionally adding in that aspect, because I am a person who, if I do something, then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can check
it
off the
off.
list.
Yeah.
But performative rest is not gonna do anything. But then as you were talking about restoration as well, I had this vision in my head of like, if you're trying to restore an old house, you can't just go ahead and put on new siding or like new paint or whatever. You have to rebuild the house first, take out the mold and all of that. You have to get back to ground zero before you can do anything to make it better. And so I think we take that for granted. We don't, we say like, oh, I'm back at ground zero, so I'm good, but we don't think about like, what does that next phase of restoration look like? So I appreciate all of your insights there.
Yeah, well wishes on your journey. Yeah, you can clap it up for that. And that's the thing that I believe, I'm more like a one-to-one person, but I believe in open sharing, that it's just like, as polished or unpolished as that may seem, like that was my way without telling y'all the story of all the actual life steps of like, what am I going through? What do I think about? What am I experiencing? That aspect that I talk about in there of community is like legit. And this thought of not just that transactional of just like, okay, I have sugar, you have salt, I want some salt. Okay, but you actually don't need sugar, so are you gonna keep your salt so you can get the water that you need? Or are you actually gonna give me the salt? You don't need my sugar. I can give my sugar to somebody who needs it and trust that you can get that water. And it's not just reciprocity is one thing and it's a beautiful thing and you want balance in a relationship, but what does that greater from micro to macrocosm of community look like where we can trust that everybody's able to give what they have and that everybody can meet their need, really shifting away from that aspect of individualism. Yeah, thank you for letting me use you as an example. Great eye contact. Is there one or two more? And then I probably ought to stop from there. One, okay, I got the one. Okay, we're gonna do one. Is there one more thought, reflection, sharing, anything? Yes.
I really like how you spoke about just knocking on your friend's door, and how that's not really like a common practice anymore. The impromptu hangouts with friends. It doesn't always have to be something so scheduled or, going to a restaurant or what have you. It can just be a walk. It can just be hey, I was thinking of you and just wanted 5 minutes to catch up, So I've been thinking about that a lot lately. How can I have more unscheduled kind of time and check-ins with friends and family?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yes, well, let's clap it up for that. Super beautiful. And my only call to action for you all is to continue to chew on what you heard and any pieces that resonated with you, to be thinking about community, to be thinking about connection, to be thinking about restorative rest and what you may need, to think about the practices that bring you joy, examining those and being willing to explore. Because we know what we need, but are we getting still enough to recognize it, to receive it, to act on it? And sometimes we also can't do that alone. So peace, blessings, much love, and thank y'all to the Creative Morning team for having me.
Yes, so absolutely. Yes.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Tell people to keep in touch with me on social
Yes,
and all of that.
absolutely. Yes, please do follow her on social at Kamica King and
Yeah.
also KamicaKing.com, y'all.
Yeah, spell it out for them real quick. It's a test. It's a test.
KAMICA.
You got it.
KING.
You got it. Boom. Yes.